So here, by choosing a balanced diet, by taking a balanced diet, okay, we made a plan for today lunch. So what items are to be prepared? We gathered all the ingredients and we have a perfect plan to make a balanced diet. Here the process of making is also very, very important to retain the nutritive value of the food, right? So the cooking practices, good cooking practices. I have very good ingredients with me. I have palak, I have dal, I have rice. So all these good items which are loaded with nutrients are there with me. But the second part is the process. The way we cook them, the way we clean them is also very important. We should see that at no step the nutrients are lost from our foods which we have selected. So the first one is cleaning of the food items. Rice, if you wanted to cook the rice beforehand, the rice are washed thoroughly. So if the rice are washed again and again with water, the top covering of the rice which is containing vitamins will be lost. Overwashing. So in the cleaning process, overwashing, it is not good. But these days we have a hazard, health hazard from pesticides and insecticides applied on the grains. So fruits, vegetables and grains are sprayed with certain chemicals to protect them from the insects, pests. So if you are not thoroughly washing the grains and fruits and all, there is a chance we eat the pesticide. If you do so, if you overwash, you may lose the nutrients. So both the ways problem. So you have to justify this. So overwashing. So as far as we are concerned here, the cleaning process and the pre-processing of the cooking, here overwashing should not be done. Over cleaning of the grains should not be done. Second thing is washing after cutting. After cutting or peeling. Sometimes you see certain vegetables, your mom, first she peels off all the skin and cut it into pieces, then they are thoroughly washed. If this practice is done, all the vitamins present in the fruits and vegetables will be washed off. It's a very wrong practice. You have to clean the fruit or vegetable thoroughly before you peel or cut. Once they are clean, once you remove the dirt or any other thing on the surface cleanly, you can wipe the fruit or vegetable with a cloth, then you can cut and directly cook it. After cutting, if you wash, you are washing not the dirt, you are simply washing the nutrients. It's a wrong practice. So by doing these two wrong practices, we are degrading the nutritive value of the food, right? So if these practices are avoided, you can retain the nutritive value of the food. The next thing is cooking process. How you are cooking is very, very important. If you are cooking any food item by steaming, it's the best practice. The nutrients are not lost. Steaming is the best way of cooking, right? So you can cook rice by steaming, potato by steaming, sweet potato by steaming. So likewise idli by steaming, different items you can cook by steam. Second thing is roasting directly on the fire. Certain items, chicken you can roast, rotis you can roast directly on the flame. So this is also, it is also a better method which you can regain the nutritive value. Third one is frying. Frying makes the food so tasty. Frying the food items in oil, it gives a crispy texture to the food. While you are eating, you feel so crunchy in your mouth. It's so quite palatable, right? So it gives you more interest in eating, and it makes your salivary glands to produce more saliva. So you will get a feeling like eating more and more and more, which is not good for the health. So frying and deep frying, these two practices are not very good. Over frying of vegetables leads to loss of nutrients, because oil boils at high temperature compared to water. If you are cooking any vegetable by boiling takes place at 100 degrees, you know. But frying oil, it boils at high temperature, more than 100 degrees, nearly around 150 degrees it boils. So at that high temperature, if you put the vegetables, because of the heat, the nutrients are destroyed from the food. Of course, the food turns so tasty, so crunchy and crispy, but the nutrients are gone. So it is not advisable to fry the food, especially deep frying of food. The next one is boiling. So many items you can boil. As I told you, potato, sweet potato, groundnut, rice, number of items that can be cooked by boiling in water or in steam. So that is the best practice. So how we are cooking the food? Certain food items, we can simply eat them raw by sprinkling some salt, right? It's good. Instead of overheating them, instead of over frying them. But generally we give a preference to the frying, right? So because more tasty. Then we go to roasting, and finally we choose that steaming or boiling options, which makes the food less tasty. But from the point of nutrition, steaming and boiling, these practices are good for the health because they retain most of the nutrients in the fruit, in the vegetables or in the grains which are cooked. So now let us see the eating disorders. So if the food is not taken properly, it leads to some kind of health problems which are called as the disorders. Here, if the food is taken in excess quantity, overeating, it leads to a problem. So we should not eat food too much. We should eat only how much is required. Some people, it becomes a habit for them. They keep on eating something. So they always wanted to grind something in their mouth. They're habituated in such a way. Some people, it's a genetic problem. Some people, because of some stress, some kind of other fears and phobias, so they make it a habit of eating something. So this way of overeating leads to a condition called as obesity. Obesity. Obesity is not only caused by overeating, eating some kind of foods in large quantity, especially carbs and fats. Eating a lot of carbohydrate and fats and avoiding the protein food and avoiding vitamins and minerals and avoiding the dietary fiber. They wanted to eat only the carbs, only the fats. French fries are the best example. Potato fried in oil, deep fried in oil. It's very dangerous because they contain a lot of carbohydrate and fat, which make you more obese and obese. They makes your body to be a dump or a storehouse for fat. Fat is gathered or collected in your body parts. You become so plumpy, and fat. That is obesity. Obesity, it's not only a problem for your appearance, it's a problem for your whole body inside. Obesity is a problem for your heart. The heart pumping may be affected. The blood vessels may be blocked. The pressure on the heart increases. The blood pressure increases. Heart may fail, and kidneys may get damaged. Liver may get damaged. Brain may get damaged, and all this happens because of this obesity. Right. So it's happened by overeating, eating certain foods like fats in large quantity, carbohydrates in large quantity. Of course, it is found that some part it is genetical also. Sometimes genetical. Some people, even though they do not eat much, because of their mother or father having the kind of genes by which they are made so fat or plumpy, they become obese. So there is some percentage, but mostly here by this overeating and this faulty eating, malnutrition leads to obesity. Less eating. That means either the quantity or quality of the food is not sufficient. Sometimes the quantity of the food is not good, means the food is not having any proteins. So you see that in a very poor families, they will work so hard to earn some money to make some rice, some rotis. They do not have enough money to make some curry with vegetables or salads Or fruits, they don't have money to buy fruits. So simply by eating the roti, they get carbohydrate. But how their protein requirement, vitamin requirement, mineral requirement are balanced? Not. They eat only carbohydrate. They feed their babies with the carbohydrate. But the babies are to be grown up. They need proteins. So they are given only the carbohydrates. They cannot feed them with protein food, which is costly, expensive, which they cannot afford. In such cases, such children eating only carbohydrates, only carbs. So that also in not sufficient quantity. It leads to a condition, swollen face, and pale appearance, dull hair, discolored hair, right? Their bodies are fluffy, and swollen tummy, swollen face, dull hair, this kind of appearance they have. They are weak. They look fluffy because of accumulation of water, but they are weak. Hands and legs are thin, but you will find a bulged stomach, swollen stomach. They also have diarrhea. So if the deficiency means lack of, if their diet is lack of proteins, only carbohydrates, then this kind of conditions are seen. If the children is given the diet which is deficient of both carbs and proteins, carbohydrates are not there, proteins are not there, so how they will be? Very thin and lean, very delicate. Their bones, muscles, nothing is grown. You can see that so skinny. The people are so skinny, the skin is directly fixed onto the bones. You see that just you feel like a skeleton is covered with the skin directly without any muscle. Right. So that all happens if their diet is lacking both carbohydrate and proteins. So this kind of conditions are found in countries which are developing and underdeveloping countries. You see the nations like Africa, underdeveloped countries. So many places in Africa, the people are facing the condition they do not have even water to drink. They do not get proper food. Most of the places in Africa, they get some kind of a root, just like a potato, cassava. They drink the juice of that. They eat that, only carbohydrate. So many people are suffering from the deficiency of proteins. Some places people do not have anything to eat, nothing to eat. They are suffering from deficiency of carbohydrates and proteins. Right? You see the importance of food. But unconsciously, we are unaware of all these things, simply wasting the food. Your mother and father plans a balanced diet for you, and they will pack your lunch boxes. So what you are doing? You're not making, most of you are not doing justice to that, because you are not aware of the importance of nutrients that are loaded in your lunch bag. You don't know that all the nutrients are required by your body. Simply you open the lunch boxes and just keep the box at the tip of your nose and you will smell it. If you like the smell, if it is a fried food, if it is a egg or chicken that is fried, if it is a biryani or a fried rice, then you will finish it off. If it is dal, if it is curd, if it is a vegetable salad or a fruit salad, you deny that and you are throwing it in the dustbin. See what you are doing. It's all called as ignorance. Okay? So we are doing a great mistake. Right? So this knowledge is given in the textbook, that is to apply immediately in your day-to-day life. Right? It's very emergency. It's a very important thing that you should follow immediately. Otherwise, as you are in 6th standard, you are in growing stage. Your body parts, they are an immediate requirement of nutrients. They cannot tell you that they want all these nutrients. So your parents know. We all know that. That's why this is given in your textbook, that your body need all these nutrients immediately. You don't care for that. just you wanted to eat the junk food or the other kind of food that gives you more pleasure, then your health gets spoiled. So beware of the food items that you are eating. See that the food should be a balanced diet. If it is not eaten, you have seen the conditions, what kind of problems we are going to face. I just discussed about carbohydrate, fats and proteins. If your diet is not included with vitamins and minerals, what's going to happen? Let us see. So now let us see the problems that are caused due to the deficiency of these nutrients in our diet. Vitamin A. We know that vitamin A, it is found in carrots, papaya, mango. The fruits that have yellow or orange color are a very good source of vitamin A. I already told you that this is very much helpful for the vision, proper sight, eyesight, and deficiency of vitamin A, it leads to night blindness. Night blindness. Night time they cannot see properly. So if this is not cured, if once the night blindness happens, they should immediately take the doses of vitamin A to supply the sufficient amount of vitamin A for proper vision. If it is not done, it may lead to permanent blindness. Permanent blindness. The second one is vitamin B1. So the deficiency of vitamin B1, it causes a disease called as beriberi. What is this beriberi? Muscle weakness. Muscle weakness. Muscles become very weak. They cannot lift any loads or they cannot walk. Muscle weakness. They have very little strength. The next one, vitamin C. The deficiency of vitamin C leads to a disease called as scurvy. What is this scurvy? The scurvy symptoms are bleeding gums, and if you have any cuts or wounds, they will take very long time to heal. Long healing time. Long healing time is caused because due to the deficiency of vitamin C. We know the sources, they are found in lemons, oranges, amla, in such fruits. Vitamin C is found. Vitamin D, rickets, weak bones or soft bones. Bones become soft if you don't have vitamin D. If you don't have vitamin D, there will be a mental disability, anxiety, depression. At the same time, you will get weakness in the body, weakness in muscles and bones. All this happens because of vitamin D. Calcium. Calcium is also needed for good bone health. Bone health. And teeth. So if you don't have good amount of calcium, your bones and teeth becomes weak. Iron. Iron, if you don't have iron in your food, you will get anemia. Anemia. Less iron in the blood. Your blood needs proper amount of iron. Then only your blood can function properly. If you are having very little iron in your diet, your blood becomes thin. That means less amount of iron. So it leads to anemia. Iodine. Iodine, if it is less in your food, thyroid problem is caused. Thyroid is a gland present near your neck. It becomes swollen, and mental disability, weakness. So all these kind of changes happen in that. Hair loss, different problems are caused because of the thyroid. Weakness, swollen neck. So these kind of problems are caused. So children, you have seen how many diseases are caused by not eating properly. Most of our health problems are caused because we are not doing the things that are to be done in that way. Everything, there is a procedure. The science has given us the way. By research, the great scientists, they have identified so many things and told us, you do like this, you eat this, you do this, you do exercise, you do walking, you sleep early, You wake up early. Eat 2 hours before your sleeping time. Drink plenty of water. Do some physical exercise. Eat healthy foods. Give preference to vegetables and fruits. So in this way, so many things are given by the doctors and scientists. So what we do is, we simply ignore that and we welcome these many number of diseases into our body. So what kind of sense it is making? You ignore all the good word, the health suggestions given by the health experts, doctors and scientists. We ignore all that. And your parents are telling you that eat this, eat that, drink this, drink that, don't do that way, don't sit that way, do some exercise, don't play video games all the time, don't play with your smartphones and tabs. They give you so many things. So those are also ignored. So we find some fun in ignoring that. Then we need to have fun in this diseases also. Right? So if you wanted to have fun by ignoring all the health tips which are needed to be followed, the rules to be followed to have a proper health, and if you find something else is more fun, then we are welcoming all these diseases into our body. Is it good? Definitely not. Disease is a very bad condition. It makes you sick. Right? So you will lose a lot of things when you are sick. You will get afraid of that disease and you will have a lot of pain. You are not allowed to enjoy your play and you need to take so many bitter medicines. It's all. Right? So to avoid such condition, such situations, the only thing that we can do is just simply having a good balanced diet, which is very, very important. If you simply just follow that, do that, you can avoid all these kind of health disorders, all the health problems, maintain a very good health. Right? So in this lesson, we have learnt about the ingredients of food items. They contain some components called as nutrients. The nutrients, they have some importance. They are helpful for our body in different ways. What is the role of carbohydrate? What is the role of protein, fat, vitamin and all? How to identify a nutrient in a food item by doing separate different tests. And what is a balanced diet? How to compose a balanced diet? Importance of balanced diet. And what are the various best cooking practices? And if the meal, the cooked meal, the prepared balanced diet, if it is not taken, what happens? If the balance of the nutrients has gone up and down, what happens? What are deficiency diseases? And what kind of problems they cause? So everything we have learnt here, and finally we have come to a conclusion that it's very, very important to have a balanced diet and a good health practices, good food practices to maintain a good health.